A solid rebound from the tough winter months. Also, growth for the first quarter of the year was revised a little higher. Initial jobless claims up by 12,000 last week, but that's coming off a 42-year low the week before. And mortgage rates dipping lower. They're back below 4% for a 30-year fixed-rate loan. I'm Tom Busby, CNBC Radio.
If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish and see what real value is. Call 877-249-6988. You can also save a bundle when you combine DishNet high-speed internet with your TV service. Call 877-249-6988. Programming starting as little as $29.99, plus access to thousands of movies and TV shows. Stream to your TV, smartphone, or tablet. Call 877-249-6988. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get Dish today.
Hey, Bob, how's business? Is the new website helping?
Not good. I can't figure out how to get the website finished. How did you do it?
Easy. I called Web.com. They built my website for free. Then they promoted it on all the search engines.
Like Google, Yahoo, and Bing?
Exactly. And Web.com has helped grow my business so much, I had to bring on new staff.
Hey, if Web.com did it for you, they're perfect for me.
Call now, 1-800-535-8815. That's 1-800-535-8815. Again, 1-800-535-8815.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Well, good afternoon. Inland Empire weather, much warmer than expected. Right now we're at 97 degrees. Still a chance of thunder showers lingering around until the morning hours. Overnight lows near 70, and tomorrow's high into the 90s as well, but the chance of thunder showers disappearing. Looking at your drive, it looks like there's a lot of stuff going on out there. An accident in the right lane of the 91 westbound just past 14th Street. Traffic is stopped from the 215 to Highway 60, so beware of that. Through the Cajon Pass, you've also got stop-and-go traffic between Oak Hill Road and Kenwood. The north is also slow from Kenwood to Cleghorn. It looks really, really bad out there. And then the Riverside, or through Riverside on the 215 northbound, just before Martin Luther King Boulevard, you've got some stopped traffic there. There is an accident which is blocking the center lane. So keep that in mind as you make your way through the Inland Empire today. Also, this just in too, Upland, accident 2 lanes. I don't know what's going on. It's not even Friday. It's Thursday, people. Accident in the 2 lanes of the eastbound 10 right at Mountain Avenue. And that is a crash. Also, traffic backed up from White Avenue. And then the westbound is also slow from the 15 and Central Avenue. That is the very latest with news, weather, and traffic. Poor Man Show is coming up next.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the community calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez. The city of San Bernardino invites you to take advantage of Free Dump Day. If you haven't wanted mattresses, appliances, tires, electronics, or shrubs to get rid of, mark the last Saturday of each month on your calendar. You must provide proof of residency with your driver's license or utility bill. No hazardous or construction materials will be accepted. To find out the times and places for Free Dump Day, Google City of San Bernardino calendar. If you're looking for something fun, interesting, and free to do, the City of San Bernardino History and Railroad Museum is open every Saturday from 10 till 3. Schedule a group tour by calling 909-888-3634 and learn some fascinating firsts about San Bernardino. That number again, 909-888-3634. 888-3634. And that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org. The poor man has returned to his native California.
Hey, bud. Let's party.
And it's time for the Poor Man Show. Live from Newport Beach. My dogs are barking. Time for me to kick off my shoes and relax and enjoy the Poor Man.
Thank you. Are we on the air or are we running an EAS test? You can go on there, Di. I don't mind. Okay, all right. Listen, if they're, just to clarify things, because I apologized for this 2 weeks ago, if there's an EAS test running, it supersedes anything I'm doing. I know there's been flash floods in the high desert. That's probably why Carl Kearns from the Nickel Shopper didn't call in yesterday. And if anybody knows Carl, let's get him on there and find out what happened to his property, because I guess it was horrific on the 15 and all over the place. I didn't even know until late last night when I turned on the news. I'm going, oh man, poor Carl, who, by the way, is if you really get to know him. Oh, okay. All right, is the EAS test done? Can we run it again? I really want to run it during Huntington Henry's surf report. That's the. Oh, okay. So I'm on with the beeps. Oh, they just. Okay, I think we just had an EAS test. Come on over. We got Greg, my neighbor here, who's letting me broadcast. We're actually broadcasting from the front porch of my little Newport Beach pad, and here's some headphones for you. You got to move closer to me, dude. They're kind of short. And a lot of people in Newport Beach stay here like for a week at a time, and the way people make money around here, Greg will tell you. Here, get even a little closer. Is they charge in the summer like the price you pay in a month, you get charged in a week, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Hollywood prices.
Right. What are you paying? Like $2,000 a week, something like that?
Something like that. Yeah.
maybe a little north of that.
Maybe a little north of that. Yeah, more like Huntington Beach.
Yeah. I only owe $18,000 on my place in New York. You think you can flow me a few ducats?
Yeah, man. I only have pesos. Can you convert them?
But yeah, so if you guys ever want to buy. Oh, man, there's some beautiful women driving by. Yeah, so we're in the front yard here on 42nd Street, and I guess we'll go right to the beach report. There's a humongous surf contest going on right now in Huntington, as you know, Greg, right?
I do.
The U.S. Open of Surfing. And so our beach reporter on the spot, Huntington Henry, you used to listen to me when I was on
Absolutely. Many years.
Right, there's your kids. Come on up here, man. Come on up and get on the radio, you guys.
This is my cousin Elle and my daughter Lily.
Say hi, you guys.
Hi.
Isn't that cute? That adds a little bit of like apple pie to what normally is a very raunchy show, right?
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, now you girls go inside.
Yeah, what are you guys doing today, by the way?
We went to the beach.
You went to the beach? Did you go swimming?
Yes.
Is the water warm?
No.
No? Yes? No? Okay.
Descriptive.
Are the people nice on the beach today?
Yeah.
Nobody's harassing you? No weird people like me? Okay, good. Okay.
They came up to find you.
Yeah, you're right, exactly. So you got the family here. But anyway, so let's hit Huntington Henry's jingle here and take you to Huntington Beach, California.
Surf's up, and it's time for the Surf City Beach Report with Huntington Henry.
Hey, thanks, Pat Matthews. Hey, Poor Man, I'm right here at the U.S. Open Surf Contest for you. Talk to me, guy. What do you want to know? Oh, well, I guess you're not.
Surf contest. It's a whole lifestyle beach.
Go ahead.
Huh?
I'm.
Yes, Henry.
I think you went over the falls.
Henry.
Should I talking or what?
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit. Either that or I'm cutting out. Who's cutting out, Di?
Okay, Di's not going to. Hey, okay, here's what the deal is. I knew this would happen. It's noisy down here. I'm at the U.S. Open YouTube channel, and man, I scored a spot. And what's going on right now?
You know what, Henry, you're cutting out, but you can always call back because you know that this show is yours. Henry's Surf Showcase on YouTube. Try to find a place where you can call back if you can. And all right, just call us back here anytime. All right. All right, that's Huntington Henry.
Sounded good.
All we knew is that he was at the U.S. Open of Surfing, right?
I think he was underwater at the U.S. Open.
Right, like you said, he went over the falls. He's a great surfer, by the way. This guy used to like go night surfing and surf 40-foot waves by himself. It was insane.
I believe it.
So anyway, you guys know I made this major announcement last night that I'm going to switch the format to music. And, you know, when it comes to me and my show, things can change in a day sometimes. So I really believe in this music format that I told you about, the 2K countdown. I think it's all this cutting edge new music. And all I can say is that it would be nice if we can give it a try, and I'll just leave it at that. But for now, we'll just keep going the way we're going. And let me just tell you, the way you can communicate with me now, since I left my phone in a cab on the way to the airport in New York, you can't text me anymore. You've got to go to my Twitter, which is @PoorMan1. You can make any kind of comments you want. It's @PoorMan and the number 1. So go ahead and leave comments, whatever you'd like to say. You can also phone the show, 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. I want to get right into it here. And I was talking to Greg, who's here for 2 weeks earlier about this Cecil the Lion situation, right, or SH blank blank situation. Okay, Maria Ortiz, who disagrees with me quite often, her and her husband Howard, we've had our run-ins, but they listen to my show. She says, I don't know the facts, because I said yesterday, all I knew was that Jimmy Kimmel went on his show. Jimmy Kimmel, who's a very average broadcaster who somehow gets a national talk show, he goes on there and he starts like getting very melancholy about this lion that got killed by the Minnesota dentist. And now we know there have been demonstrations at the dentist's house. We also know that people want to kill the dentist for, I guess, taking a bow and arrow to the lion. We also have heard from Tippi Hedren, who was in The Birds, of all things, with Alfred Hitchcock, who, by the way, at 80 looks pretty hot. I'd do her, for sure. Have you seen Tippi on TV? She still looks good.
I've not.
Oh, at 8? I mean, she's the hottest looking 80-year-old I've ever seen. Anyway, so she, I guess, has a spread somewhere in California where she's got all kinds of wild animals, and she's saying how horrible it is that this guy went and killed Cecil the lion. Now, before I give you my opinion of this, which is not going to be very popular with, you know, all the animal lovers there, first of all, I own no weapons. I also used to have cats. I had Fluff and Yo-Yo. And the reason I had these 2 cats is my ex-wife left them on my doorstep. So I had them for like 10 or 12 years, cleaned up the poop, but cats aren't too horrible. And I've never abused animals, so I don't have any stake in this. I'm not an animal rights person per se. But in the case of Cecil, this lion was killed and everybody is going crazy. They want this dentist lynched or whatever it may be. And what's so hypocritical, and Greg, your wife Becky mentioned this earlier to me today. Now, she took your kids to SeaWorld, right?
Yes, with her mother, so the kid's grandmother.
Right. And what type of lunch did they eat at SeaWorld while they looked at whales and fish and everything else?
Well, I think they opted for mac and cheese, but my wife did note that there were fish tacos on the menu at SeaWorld.
Fish tacos?
Fish tacos, yes.
So,
with no disclaimer as to what types of fish were in the tacos, or, you know, whether they were farm raised or
right,
correctly caught.
So okay, so nobody wants to kill Cecil, who if Cecil was alone with me and Greg, we would be lunch. We would be an appetizer right now, right?
I would be, yes.
Okay, so this is a protected lion, so you can't kill him. And by the way, he goes to Zimbabwe to go hunting. So obviously, somebody took this dentist from Minnesota somewhere to kill this lion, and I'm sure that if he knew what would have happened to him, he would have never done this. So he had to find the lion in the first place. He's not just going to land in Zimbabwe and get a little map and find the lion, right?
Right.
So he kills the lion.
Is there like an Uber for lions or something like that?
There could be. There's an Uber there's an app for everything now. So the guy kills the lion, and now everybody, they can't locate the dentist. He's probably, I mean, sure, if some people saw him, they might want to kill him. So we're to the point now where if this, let's take Siegfried and Roy. Okay, I'm just going to give you a couple examples of, you tell me how you would react to this. Roy, I believe, who slept with his tiger, and probably Siegfried at the same time, and who knows what happened between the three of them.
Right.
Whether was there, I don't even know if it was a male tiger or not. But
no comment.
So all of a sudden, this lovely pet tiger decides to chew off his arm, right? And
I think grabbed him by the head.
Oh, by the head,
I believe.
And basically decapacitated his brain forever.
Yes.
And so Siegfried and Roy are gone because this tiger that was dangerous, just like the lion, took care of Roy. Then Tippi Hedren, who you saw on TV, the woman who still looks hot, and honestly, I would do her. I would. I don't know if she's married, but she looks better than her daughter, Melanie Griffith, for sure. Melanie is not looking too good.
Again, I say no comment.
Okay, that's all right. It's my show, and it's only going to go for a week and a half more, so who cares? So, anyway, so Tippi, who's complaining, oh, finally somebody's protecting the beasts in the wild. Well, I hear 3 or 4 years ago, on her preserve, one of her interns got mauled by one of her wild animals. I don't know if you heard that or not, but yeah. I heard about that. So these animals are dangerous, folks. It's not like, okay, yes, it's the majestic lion, and we have the Lion King and all these wonderful stories. Then let's even carry it a step further, if you may. Now, I saw something on the news. You see, Brett from Sacramento, I do show prep, or at least what remains in my brain, I think of these things. I see on the news the other day that they've now can't serve shark fin soup anymore in Chinese restaurants.
Correct.
Because they're going to protect these sharks that like eat swimmers. I mean, why don't we make Bethany Hamilton the spokesperson for this movement? You know, Bethany Hamilton, the surfer with one arm, who got it. You know the situation, right?
I do.
I saw her movie. Did you see it? Great movie, by the way.
Very inspirational.
So now we're protecting the sharks, and of course we have Sharknado, which I finally saw that the other night. The first one, I liked it.
Here at the beach.
No, Sharknado is
no, I know.
Right. But okay.
Or on the menu at SeaWorld.
Right. Okay, so we're protecting the sharks. We're protecting the lions. Then you realize they are very dangerous animals. And then, in addition to I'm just throwing this out here because I think this is garbage that this dentist is suddenly, this human, and all these people are piling on this guy. And what do they do every Thanksgiving? They eat a turkey. All right, everybody sits down at the dinner table, has a little prayer. It's family and friends. You have turkey, pecan pie. I love the stuffing. I eat it myself. So about 10 years ago, I mentioned this on the show yesterday, that I was on the Rick Dees show, and I was his feature reporter. So I decided for my day before Thanksgiving stunt, I would save, or 2 days before, 3 days before, I don't know what it was, I would save a couple turkeys from ending up on your table on Thanksgiving. And I had never seen turkeys prepared for you to buy your turkey, because obviously none of us want to see the process. So this is in downtown LA. It was some market. In the back of the market, there's like 100 turkeys in a pen, and they take the turkey, pull back its head, and slit the throat right there and then, just of several turkeys. And I took 2 of them to a ranch in Lancaster. But in seeing that, well, okay, you want to save the lion? Why not save the turkeys? Why are they okay to kill? Or chickens? Or what else? I mean, when we have a steak, I
think if it's large enough to hug, I think it's a scale issue.
To me, it doesn't make any sense. And then you have Jimmy Kimmel sitting there making $10 million a year for being a lousy talk show host. I mean, the guy is so like generic. Oh, I didn't think I could do it in the first place. They forced me into this job. Listen, bro, I spent my entire career doing it. I could take your seat, bump you off, and by Monday I could be doing that show and increasing the ratings. No doubt in my mind. And I'd be a lot happier. And I'd probably get a paycheck and pay my rent in New York and be able to keep my place. But that's neither here nor there. Is he a non-meat eater? And then let's go a step further. What about when we eat tofu or we have veggies? Don't the plants live too?
Yes.
So the question is it really fair? And again, this guy going out and hunting these animals, I would never do that. And I think the guy's kind of an idiot to do that. But at the same time, is it really within our right to just absolutely pummel this dude? So that's my point on Cecil the lion. I think people should lay off this guy. He made a mistake, but somebody took him to that lion, and this is not his problem. This is Zimbabwe's problem, especially if for 10 years this was a protected lion. Then where was the protection for that lion? And I know Cecil's cubs are all going to be eaten by the next lion in charge. Right, who would eat us just if we were there.
Sure.
Does that make sense to you, Greg, or not?
Yeah, I think there's a hierarchy in the food chain based on how cute animals are. I mean, we eat a boatload of lobster, no pun intended.
Right. So why should we kill the lobster?
Well, I think they're not something you would hug.
Right. Or what about cracked crab? Or how about if you go to the crab cooker and, the crab cooker.
Right, but you don't see, like, cub bear on a menu at the crab cooker.
No.
It's too cute.
And you don't see dog meat either unless you go to Vietnam.
So
or it used to be that way, I hear.
Right.
Or you don't see horse meat.
No, but you can get it here.
You can?
I hope not. I'm making that up.
Yeah. I've never seen horse meat. So Huntington Henry, are you back? Oh, Maria Ortiz, who wants to debate me. Maria, are you there?
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Maria, I'm going to take a break right here, and I'm going to come back, and then we'll get into this, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, the number, by the way, if anybody else wants to take me on, go to @PoorMan1 on Twitter. That's what Maria did, @PoorMan1. Or you can call in 888-909-1050. I'll take on everybody on this. I'm sorry, I disagree with most people on this issue.
If you'd like to talk to the poor man, give him a call at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. More of the Poor Man coming up. When I say Wave Tools, you think surfboards, right? But not just any surfboards. We're talking boards that just work better. Since Lance Collins polished off his first surfboard in 1969, Wave Tools has been cranking out the best boards money can buy for all of SoCal and beyond. Come check out what a real surf shop is all about. Real surfers hanging out any time of day at Wave Tools Surfboards. Customize that new board with a look that screams you. Wave Tools Surfboard in Costa Mesa. Go to wavetoolssurf.com or call 949-631-0887. The crew is ready to assist you. 949-631-0887. Are you starting a business, incorporating, or forming an LLC? Do you have a business but need legal review of contracts or have other legal needs? If so, then please contact attorney Michael Brown. Michael has over 20 years' experience advising small and medium businesses to be successful and avoid costly litigation. Initial consultations are always free. Please contact us at 949-636-8128 or by visiting us at mwb-law.net. Have a question or a comment? Then you can send a tweet to the Poor Man via Twitter. @PoorMan1 is his Twitter account. So send your tweets or follow the Poor Man @PoorMan1 on Twitter.
That's @PoorMan and the number 1. Somebody has already got @PoorMan. They probably have I've got about 2,100 followers. So anybody who follow me, I'll follow you back. Anybody who follows me, there's Huntington Henry showed up at my place. Park in the back. Just park. Oh, dude, honk your horn.
Here.
Honk your horn. Honk the horn.
Here, I'll park.
Yeah, that's so funny. Okay, Huntington Henry has joined us from Huntington Beach. All right, we got Maria Ortiz on the line, and Maria really has taken issue with me on this Cecil the lion thing. I think that people are just going crazy over this lion, and they're hypocrites, because if you eat meat, then you're killing animals yourself. Sorry. Okay, Maria, I'm gonna let you speak your piece, and I said what I had to say before the break, so go ahead.
Okay, well, Jim, my issue with what you said yesterday, I mean, it was towards the end of the show, and you were just kind of more on a rant with Jimmy Kimmel. I think the fact that Jimmy Kimmel and other celebrities have come out against this really is going to help protect our endangered species. I mean, I'm not just about animal protection and all that. This guy's a real douchebag, and I'm sure I can say that on the air. I mean, the guy he's got a track record. He wasn't honest. Somebody didn't just take him to this preserve. I mean, he paid over $50,000 to actually get there. And once they realized that this animal was being tracked, they actually went through the trouble of beheading the animal, removing the tracker, and trying to destroy it. So this guy's not exactly innocent, and you were really coming off yesterday like you were defending him without stating all the facts about this guy. I mean, this guy is not a Boy Scout. And while I respect your opinion that maybe you think it's okay to kill lions, I think you have to respect everybody else's opinion, but always present all the facts.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right. I did not read about him yesterday. That is absolutely true. I just looked at it real quickly and saw Jimmy Kimmel talking. But I know he has killed another lion before. I think he's killed a rhino. I think he's had a bear, and he's a big game hunter. But the thing is, there's no law against hunting either. So what can you hunt? I mean, what is acceptable hunting, Maria?
I think everybody's outraged because this particular lion was on a protected reserve, and the lion was lured out of this preserve in order to be shot and hunted. That's where everybody's taking issue. Everybody, I mean, a lot of people don't agree with animals being hunted, but the fact that they took this animal from a protected environment, lured him out, and then hunted him, that's why people are so upset.
How do you know that's true, though?
Look it up. You can Google it. It comes up. Watched it on CNN, MSNBC. The Times reported this. I mean, it's everywhere. That is exactly what they did. They put a dead animal on a truck, lured this lion out, and then hunted him. So they got him off the protected
preserve, and they killed him outside of it.
Yes, that's right.
So I guess my only question would be, was he ignorant of the fact that it was being lured illegally? I would imagine all signs point to yes, but that's the question in my mind, was he ignorant of that particular fact?
Well, I think if it was a one-time thing and it was anybody else, it would be different. But the fact that this doctor was on probation in Wisconsin for killing a black bear outside of a preserve area, he's already showing a track record. So this is the second time he's done that to an animal that is protected in a preserve. And again, all of this information is online, and I mean, it's
right. But then, okay, and I agree. I would never do that. I would never go hunting anyway.
I've never been.
Yeah, but the thing is, was it legal for him to kill the animal off the preserve? I mean, could he be charged with anything? But if it wasn't on the protected preserve?
No, because there are expeditions and people who own land and who allow these people to go hunting. Then it would have been legal. But the fact that he lured this one particular lion off of a protective preserve is where everybody's having the issue. The fact that this lion has a name and was known, that's where everybody has an issue. They were studying this animal and its behavior in Oxford, and that's why it had a tracker. That's how they were able to find the carcass, because these guides, one of them's a landowner, the other one's a guide, they actually tried to destroy the tracker. It was still working, and that's how Oxford was able to track the carcass of the dead lion.
And the people that were helping him, who were they?
One of them's a landowner, and the other one's a guide. And they were both arrested. They were released on a $1,000 bail, and they face up to 15 years in prison for what they did.
And nobody can find the dentist right now, right?
No, apparently he's in hiding. Everybody's been kind of looking for him. He put out a letter to his patients yesterday saying that, it was a sport he loved and he was unaware of any wrongdoing, but no one's really buying it, not considering his track record.
Well, okay, so the thing is that maybe he's telling the truth even though it doesn't seem like he is. But it's typical social media that everybody's just assuming before all the facts are out. It's like a lynch mob mentality in a certain sense. I mean,
the fact that once he shot it, there's usually photographs taken. That's when they would have found the tracker. So he was definitely aware something was off.
Okay.
So I think that's where everybody's angry, where, if you genuinely don't know, but once he found out, he said nothing. He went ahead and came back home and tried to pretend like it was nothing. And once this comes out, he's defending himself instead of just apologizing. His business has been shut down. Everything is just, he went about this the wrong way. And personally, I don't believe in hunting. I respect people that do. But you don't do this, not to, a protected animal. You just don't do that.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, Maria, thanks. I'm glad somebody does their prep work, unlike me. but I know people are going to bash me for this, but for some reason, as much of an a-hole as this guy is, I think people are piling on this guy. I'm not saying it's right. He realizes he's wrong, but then the same people that are piling on him are going home and they're it's fine to kill every turkey you want for Thanksgiving dinners, and then we eat steaks all the time. Ruth Chris and all the other steakhouses, and okay, let's go get that cow. We'll fatten him up and make him get Kobe beef. And I like meat a little bit, not a lot. Or what about a salad? You're killing lettuce. I don't know.
But the thing about you mentioned the turkey. Nobody's going to the White House on the turkey that's pardoned every year and stealing it and killing it. You know what I mean? Right. I'm all for, you want to hunt, you want to do whatever you want. But the way that he did it, he broke so many laws that I think everyone's just hoping he's really severely punished.
So lastly, what do you want to see happen to the dentist?
I hope he goes back to Africa and he has to face the authorities. I know somebody was floating around the idea of him going back to do community service as a dentist and help some of the underprivileged people. I think that would really help his image.
Huntington Henry has joined me. He drove to Newport from Huntington. What do you think of this whole? Have you heard about this?
I know the animals are killing the animals, right?
Yeah.
I guess we all got to eat, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you heard it. If you and I were sitting in that field with Cecil the lion, who do you think would we would probably be lunch for that lion?
Absolutely. I was just hearing a thing about how an ape would take out Mike Tyson if they put him in a cage. Because they're primates.
All right. Hey, Maria, thanks. Say hi to Howard. And you guys have been too long talking. I didn't even know you listened to my show. I was pleased to see that you tweeted me.
We support you all the time. We always listen, and we're always hoping for the best for you.
Oh, you're awesome. Okay, take care. And we're going to take a break here. We'll be right back with more. Next thing we're going to talk about is social media. Okay, I got really angry the other day because there's this guy named Stevie Ray who's a troll, and I had to eliminate him from my Facebook. And James Wood has done something where he's striking back at the trolls, at the people that harass celebrities. I got into this yesterday, but I'm pretty stoked about this lawsuit. We'll tell you about that after we come back on The Poor Man Show.
Have a question or a comment? Then you can send a tweet to The Poor Man via Twitter. @PoorMan1 is his Twitter account. So send your tweets or follow The Poor Man @PoorMan1 on Twitter. Leather doesn't have to be expensive. Not when it comes from Lucerne Lapidary and Leather in the Lucerne Valley. Who doesn't like leather? Get leather belts, wallets, gun belts, holsters, rifle scabbards, and original design handmade saddles. But that's not all. There's jewelry, custom design, custom cutting, shaping, engraving, polishing, repair, and more. Even classes in jewelry design. Come see it for yourself in the high desert. Lucerne Lapidary and Leather. 32776 Old Woman Spring Road in the Lucerne Valley. Call 760-885-7777. That's 760-885-7777. This may come as a surprise, but Beatlesarama is in its 15th year of keeping the Beatles alive for a new generation. If you spent any time in the 60s, or if you're smart enough to know it was the coolest era for music, you're going to love us. Just go to Beatlesarama.com and the player should start right up. We're also available on TuneIn, iTunes, Windows Media, and more. Once you tune in, you'll be hooked. Plus, you can join our Facebook fan club and follow us on Twitter. Be sure to bookmark it. Beatlesarama.com. If you'd like to talk to the poor man, give him a call at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. More of the poor man coming up.
And we're back. Thank you, Pat Matthews, for these new jingles. All right, we're trying to do something which hopefully... This is selfish. I need more Twitter followers. So my Twitter is @PoorMan1. So if you want to communicate with me from now on, go to the Twitter. So we have a couple comments @PoorMan1. This is about what's the Cecil the lion. Scott Inman said, "Have you ever been fishing?" That is a form of hunting. Yeah, you put a little bait on the fishing pole. We do that right here at the beach.
They do it on the pier, and they catch surfers all the time.
Oh, really? Yeah. Do they? I was wondering that. Do they hook surfers?
I get hooked all the time.
Dude.
Yeah, when I feel that line, I drop. I go down. I have had many hooks.
Really?
Yeah, and when you try to take the hook out, it gets stuck in your finger. I've had it. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, Huntington Henry's, by the way, he's joined me. We couldn't hear him, but what happens is most of the good surf in Huntington is right underneath the pier where people are fishing, right?
Pretty close to the pier. There's a little current, so it brings the lines out, and they love to surf in that lineup, right where you're surfing.
You mean they love to fish in that lineup?
The fish in the lineup, yeah.
So does it hurt when they hook you?
Oh, it's not good. You can take an eye out real quick.
Oh, no way.
Oh, when that hook comes up and you're going, it comes up fast.
Has anybody lost their eye from
I don't know. I've been hooked a few times and it hurts.
Where'd you get hooked?
I got hooked in the hair, and then a wetsuit got hooked, and then one time I tried to pull it out and it got stuck in my finger.
Oh.
And it was a pretty good size swell. And the current's pulling me, and I'm telling you, the guy's all like thinking he's got a big fish on the line, you know?
No!
And he's yanking, and I'm just like screaming. It hurts.
Oh, man. What did you cut the line or something?
No, well, actually, it just pulled my skin off my finger. You know?
Oh, so you were able to get the hook out?
Oh, yeah.
What's the worst? What's the worst situation you found out with somebody with a fish hook?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to catch up on everybody. I just know that my experience is you don't want to mess around with those fishing hooks.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's never happened to me. But...
Yeah, they like to fish in that lineup. They think they're catching big fish there, but they're really not. They're just pulling up little anchovies or something. You know?
And surfers.
Yeah, and surfers.
So what's going on at the U.S. Open of Surfing? It goes on for 2 weeks every year, and it just packs the crowd. But it's not just a surf contest. They've got. I've shot so many Bikini Beach episodes there. I know that they have online skating. They've got. What else do they have? They've got
the bikes, the BMX bikes, the little teeny midget bikes.
Yeah,
and they go flying in the air.
And lots of booths too, right?
No, the booths are stripped down. It doesn't look like it's a public open anymore. It's you got the GoPro, you got the Jeep. You know, it looks like the high-end corporate stuff going on there.
There's not all the little booths around?
No.
Are you sure?
The carnival looks gone.
Really?
Yeah, it's a stripped down gig, and it looks like the age bracket went down, poor man. I don't know if you're interested in 8 to 10-year-olds.
Yeah,
I know you were talking about the girls yesterday, but I think it's a little young now.
Yeah, there's a lot of 13-year-olds. Greg, when was the last time you went? I've got Greg, my neighbor, got Huntington Henry here, and Michael Brown's just walked up, the attorney, who we may need.
Okay.
Well, Henry's been calling you for advice, right, Mike?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I heard. See, I hear everything.
I think we're
Bring it
both-
on over
I
here.
think we're both going to need Michael
Yeah,
Brown pretty soon.
Okay, how's the surf, real quick?
Huntington Beach is the worst place around. It's Shadow Black by Catalina from a southwest swell. Better at Salt Creek Trussels, 3 to 6. Huntington barely 2 to 4.
How about here in Newport, which we just saw?
A little better here in Newport, 2 to 4, some 5-footers, a little choppy, but it's okay. It's better here.
And it's blackball till 5.
Yeah, how about that?
Right, when they're tourists, you can't surf until 5.
Isn't that nice?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to move over for our man,
Our
Michael Brown.
attorney. You're both my sponsors, so okay, Michael, come on over here. I mentioned this is really interesting, Michael. You actually, this is a legal thing that's going on. Oh yeah, don't jerk that. Are we still coming through? Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, so Michael Brown is here. You can relax for a minute. We're not going to do your laws of the absurd for quite a few minutes. Some other tweets at Poor Man 1. Scott even made a good comment. Jay Herrera says Jimmy Kimmel is part of the Illuminati, that he has his own show. He sold his show to the devil. Verbal Ham Radio, that's Matt Boyce. His guides used a dead carcass to lure the lion out of a protected park to shoot. The tiger was also being studied for research. The tiger, that must be with Siegfried and Roy. He's digging the outdoor shots. Let's see. 21 hours ago. So this tweet thing has worked brilliantly. We've so far gotten 5 tweets. Oh, no, 6. Here we got another one. This one is from Daniel Smith. Poor Man digging the show, man. Thank you, Daniel. People tweet me, okay, at Poor Man 1. We should be getting hundreds of tweets. And follow me, too, okay? Because if we can build this up, then who knows? Maybe we'll keep this talk extravaganza going. Yesterday, when I announced we're going to switch the format to all music, of course, everybody who I didn't want to have here heard. It's always that way. It's, I have to tell you something honestly, and then we're going to get into this James Wood thing, and we got 2 more breaks, so I'm aware of the time here. But it's sad to say, but in a talk show, that basically you're saying my talk show is better than this guy's, or my talk show is better than that guy's. I mean, it's not like you're rewriting the format. The thing that seems to get the most response, because I know when you guys are snoozing and not listening to the show, like if I'm in a good mood, nobody at the station's going to listen. But when I'm really agitated and I say I want to dump this to do a music format, then every sponsor's heard it, every, ownership of the station happens to be listening. Mm-hmm. People that might do something for my career are hearing what I'm talking about. And yeah, that's the time they all tune in, is when you're just saying, screw this. And so when you just have a normal day on the air, what do? Matt Boyce says you got to be controversial all the time. So, okay, I'm talking about Cecil the Lion, but everybody in America is talking about Cecil. Excuse me, everybody in the world is talking about Cecil the Lion. So, I mean, you guys may like this. I guess I just have a different take. I think it's sad they killed the lion, but I'd be lying if I didn't think there were other things that were more important right now than that. Like, okay, here's what's going on with Twitter. And Michael, you're an attorney. Did you hear James Wood is suing, actor James Wood is suing this guy who has tweeted him and called him a cocaine addict?
Yes.
What else has he said? The lawsuit states, although they call him Al's rantings against Woods began with childish name-calling, is clearly escalated beyond the protections of free speech, and Al must now be held accountable for the millions in damages he has caused. I had this guy, Stevie Ray, who hammered me, and the other day I finally he got to the point where he said, with my GoFundMe thing that you guys donated $416 to, and thanks to everybody, I hadn't followed through on my commitments. And yes, not everyone I have, but I plan to follow through on everything, and most of them I have. So to say that, and all this guy does is bash me, and so I just blocked him. And it's I can understand with celebrities, everybody bashes celebrities. Let's see. What did they say about Woods? Abe List was his handle. It's at Abe Listed, and he's being sued for $10 million in a defamation suit. So he called him a cocaine addict, and Woods is saying that now it's being Googled that he was a cocaine addict, which he wasn't, or that at least what we know. And then also, he's called Woods a PR 5-letter word that ends in K that rhymes with Rick. All right, but it starts with a P. He's called him a joke, ridiculous, scum, and clown boy. And look, I'm not as famous as James Woods, but I get this. You've seen my Facebook page, right, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah, and people look at that, and what do they think of me? They think I'm some sort of like troubled, non-reliable human being, and you're a sponsor, and probably it enters into your mind when you see things like that. And what can you do? You can't do anything. I've had people put fake accounts on there just to hammer me and whatnot. It's
well, here's the thing. It's an interesting thing about defamation law, and that is that there are certain things that if you say about somebody, they're automatically considered to be defamatory. And so, like, for instance, if I were to accuse you of being unchaste, meaning sexually promiscuous,
I would like that. I wish I was.
If I were to accuse you of being homosexual or of committing a crime, or of
you didn't know I was gay?
No, you never made it past me.
Yeah,
Sheesh. Says a lot for me. But also if you've committed a crime or if you've done in some capacity something involving moral turpitude. In this particular case, calling him the P word, a joke, ridiculous,
and
scum,
a cocaine addict,
clown boy, probably not actionable. Cocaine addict, yes.
Do you think he's going to win in court?
In all honesty, from a practical perspective, it'll be a settlement. But if he were to go, yes, he would probably win. Would he win $10 million? Highly unlikely. He'd have to really show those damages.
Okay. So this is the thing. This could change Twitter completely, or social media, where people all of a sudden are going to get sued for their comments. They may have to think about it. It's already, you can tell it's tightening up now the longer social media is there. We're going to take a break. And I'm going to have Michael doing his Laws of the Absurd. Also, we're going to talk to Carl Kearns from the Nickel Shopper, because I guess he had a flash flooding situation going on in the high desert. And so we'll be back right after this.
If you'd like to talk to the poor man, give him a call at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. More of the Poor Man coming up. Tired of spending too much money on an ad and then trying to find your ad in the newspaper, buried among hundreds, even thousands of other ads? Isn't it time you got a great deal when you were trying to sell that car, that dining room set, that refrigerator, or offering your handyman services? Now you can in the Nickel Shopper. For as little as $7.50 per week, your ad can be seen by thousands of eyeballs in the high desert, and they're getting the Nickel Shopper for free. Call today to place your ad in the Nickel Shopper, 760-646-3654, or go to thenickelshopper.com for all the details. 760-646-3654. The Nickel Shopper, coming soon to the IE. This may come as a surprise, but Beatles-orama is in its 15th year of keeping the Beatles alive for a new generation. If you spent any time in the 60s, or if you're smart enough to know it was the coolest era for music, you're going to love us. Just go to BeatlesOrama.com and the player should start right up. We're also available on TuneIn, iTunes, Windows Media, and more. Once you tune in, you'll be hooked. Plus, you can join our Facebook fan club and follow us on Twitter. Be sure to bookmark it. BeatlesOrama.com. Have a question or a comment? Then you can send a tweet to the Poor Man via Twitter. @PoorMan1 is his Twitter account. So send your tweets or follow the Poor Man @PoorMan1 on Twitter. This may come as a surprise, but Beatles-orama is in its 15th year of keeping the Beatles alive for a new generation. If you spent any time in the 60s, or if you're smart enough to know it was the coolest era for music, you're going to love us. Just go to BeatlesOrama.com and the player should start right up. We're also available on TuneIn, iTunes, Windows Media, and more. Once you tune in, you'll be hooked. Plus, you can join our Facebook fan club and follow us on Twitter. Be sure to bookmark it. BeatlesOrama.com. Have you seen 4K video? And you thought HD was the bomb? 4K is the next great adventure in visual entertainment, and Kcaa Poor Man, singer, songwriter, and film producer, is set to launch his latest music video, City Lights, in 4K. Here's a sample. See the video for the first time on August 4th on YouTube in 4K, also on Vivo, iTunes, and Xbox videos. The new Kcaa Poor Man video starring actress Taylor Plicity, City Lights. Remember the premiere date, August 4th. The 4K video release of City Lights. Have a question or a comment? Then you can send a tweet to the Poor Man via Twitter. @PoorMan1 is his Twitter account. So send your tweets or follow the Poor Man. @PoorMan1 on Twitter. Are you starting a business, incorporating, or forming an LLC? Do you have a business but need legal review of contracts or have other legal needs? If so, then please contact attorney Michael Brown. Michael has over 20 years' experience advising small and medium businesses to be successful and avoid costly litigation. Initial consultations are always free. Please contact us at 949-636-8128 or by visiting us at mwb-law.net. Tired of spending too much money on an ad and then trying to find your ad in the newspaper, buried among hundreds, even thousands of other ads? Isn't it time you got a great deal when you were trying to sell that car, that dining room set, that refrigerator, or offering your handyman services? Now you can in the Nickel Shopper. For as little as $7.50 per week, your ad can be seen by thousands of eyeballs in the high desert, and they're getting the Nickel Shopper for free. Call today to place your ad in the Nickel Shopper, 760-646-3654, or go to thenickelshopper.com for all the details, 760-646-3654. The Nickel Shopper. Coming soon to the IE.
What I like is when both sponsors that I'm going to put on in this segment, both of their commercials are running at the same time. That keeps them happy, keeps them advertising, even though I'm ready to change the format. Yeah, thank you very much, Di. Carl Kearns, are you there from the
Yes, I am, and that was some pretty good sucking up there running it like that.
Yeah, that was great. Say hi to your fellow sponsor, Michael Brown, the lawyer.
Hey there, Michael Brown, the lawyer. How are you?
I'm just fine. How are you?
Hey, Carl, if you ever need a lawyer, his number is 949 636-8128.
Yeah.
I know that number by heart now.
Yeah. Unless it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, there's two.
Then forget it.
There you go, by golly. That works for me.
Hey, Carl, did you have, I noticed the Lucerne Valley got hammered with rain yesterday and flash flooding. Was that the area you live in?
Yeah, actually, it was the area between me and the ranch. And I was going to call in yesterday, but then we had power failures in town. So I thought, well, you know what, shoot, I'm going to head home. And on Rabbit Springs, which is the route I usually take into the ranch, it was flowing anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 foot deep.
Wow. How much rain was there?
Well, it hit the foothills pretty hard on the backside of Big Bear up here above, just south of the town. And so it rained pretty steady for about maybe an hour and a half. And when it does, we get floods.
Did it damage any of your property?
No. Believe it or not, my ranch is 11 miles from town, and my ranch didn't even get a sprinkle.
Well, hey, Carl, you know what I got to tell you, and then you can join in on this conversation. Carl's the owner of the Nickel Shopper, and he's getting all kinds of new people putting ads in the Nickel Shopper because the Penny Saver went out of business. So Carl's really rich, and.
Well,
yeah.
Very nice to meet you, Carl.
Well, it's a pleasure there, Mike.
Hey, Carl, if you don't want to answer, you don't, but I just want to set this up because this is something I've always wanted people to know about you that I know that people that are listening don't know about you. How old are you?
I am 63.
63 years old. And if somebody screws you over, or if they challenge you, what do you tell me if you get into a fight? about who will win that fight?
Oh, I will win hands down. I'm 63. I weigh in at 240 pounds. I can still lift over 350 pounds. I buck hay all day long. The average weight of the bale is 125. So my stamina is real good. You might get me for the first 2 or 3 minutes. Then you're so winded, I'm just going to pull your little plug and watch you go down the drain.
Can you kick anybody's ass of any age?
Yeah, if you've really got it together and you know who you are. And then the other thing, too, is to always know that you're the smartest man in the room, and it's not by announcing it.
So you're not afraid to fight. You're not afraid to fight anybody. You told me you fought people that have brandished knives at you and all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah. And it wasn't that I enjoy it, but I am very accomplished at it. I was pretty popular in the military as a babysitter. And and actually it's funny because I'm very good at defending myself and I deplore violence.
Yeah. Well, Carl, what are your pressure points so I can know to avoid them?
Well, let me see. Gosh, have me call in on days when there's a rerun. My new attorney, Mr. Brown, I'm sure he can let me know what it'll cost to post bail for simple assault.
On the poor man.
It'll be justifiable.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, shoot, it's all good.
Hey, Carl, we've been talking about, and you can weigh in on this. The James Woods is filing a $10 million lawsuit against a Twitter guy who's harassed him on Twitter. He's called him every which way from. I'm getting something in my ear. Hold on, just a sec. What was that? Okay. Okay, yeah, well, throw on Todd, too. Todd, who runs the Uncensored Poor Man page, which I don't read, so I'm not unhappy.
Yeah,
Todd, are you there, too?
Yeah, this is about James Woods. We're running out of time here, so I want to get this out.
Yeah, and we got attorney Michael Brown here who wants to work. He wants to talk more about it, too. So anyway, to make just in case you're just tuning in, James Woods filed a $10 million lawsuit against a guy who was harassing him on Twitter, who called James Woods a cocaine addict, a clown boy, a fool, a thing that rhymes with Rick that starts with a P, and so he filed a lawsuit. Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, so this is not going to go anywhere. I've done a lot of research about defamation law on the internet, and it's not the same as defamation law outside the internet. And the big thing that's being missed here, and it's been mentioned in a few articles though, is that this has to be proven to have been done with malice, which means if just some random person says something untrue, even if it's defamatory and harms you, you don't have a claim against them unless you can show that they actually did it with malice in an attempt to hurt you. And the only way you can really prove malice is with some sort of history, unless it's a really, really, really horrible thing. But just saying you're a coke addict one time is not going to do it. Now, they might have the malice claim here because of the other stuff this guy has said, but because James Woods not only a public figure, but also he plays himself on Family Guy, where his character, which is an animated version of him called James Woods, has done all kinds of illegal and outrageous things. And there'd be a very easy defense that the person watching Family Guy believes that's really him because he calls himself James Woods. It looks like James Woods. It's supposed to be James Woods. They can say they got confused and thought that was really him representing himself. And he's a public figure. And I don't know how long and how aggressively this guy's been harassed, that James Woods has been harassed by this guy. But it's very, very tough to get a judgment against someone for internet defamation.
Todd, listen, we got less than a minute and a half left, and Michael Brown's shaking his head, and he's a lawyer. So go ahead, Michael. Less than a minute and a half left, so be quick.
All right. Well, Todd, you're partly right. Not all states require malice. Generally, if you are a reporting agency like a newspaper, TV, you do have to have malice when you publish something. But as between individuals, that malice is not required.
Well, I disagree. I've researched this a lot, actually, so I found that it was required for everybody, and that protects the person who's just expressing an opinion.
We're running out of time, so what are you saying, Michael?
Well, what I'm saying is generally for most people, if you're going to say something derogatory, preface it.
Oh! No! What did he say?
I think he just vanished. He's gone.
Hello.
Todd, finish your thought. 20 seconds.
Okay, so I've done research on this. I believe from my research that you do have to have malice proven, and that protects people on the internet who just want to troll once in a while and say something, just say something about someone, and there's not lawsuits all over the place. And that's the reason that malice is in there, so it's only the people who really, really, really mean to harm someone and go at it over and over that are liable for this sort of thing. And
All
they
right,
also have to
Poor
be
Man,
untrue.
tomorrow, 2 o'clock, be here.
This is Kcaa, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of BuySellMakeOffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale.
CNBC Radio. Good news about U.S. economic growth out today. Gross domestic product rose at a pace of 2.3% during the spring second quarter. That's a little bit less than forecast, but a sharp turnaround from this winter's slow first quarter. Meantime, growth during that period was revised a little higher. With that, the Dow down 5 points on the day, the Nasdaq up 17, recovering from early losses after disappointing earnings from Facebook, Procter & Gamble, and Whole Foods. Shares of Whole Foods tumbling 12% today. After the bell, strong earnings from drug maker Amgen, social networking site LinkedIn, travel website Expedia, and video game maker Electronic Arts. Mortgage rates dipping a little lower this week, now just below 4% for a 30-year fixed-rate loan.